Hi guys, Miss Jackson here. Do you like poetry? Because I have a book of poems and I thought maybe I would read some of them to you, some of my favorites. This is the Oxford Illustrated Book of American Children's Poems, edited by Donald Hall. And I know sometimes kids think that poetry might be boring, but I promise you these are not boring poems. I would not pick a boring poem for you. And I think you'll really like them. All right, the first one I'm reading to you is by Laura Richards, and it's called Ella Telephony. Ella Telephony, say that quick. Ella Telephony. And here's the picture. I don't know if it might have to do with that picture, that poem over there. Once there was an elephant who tried to use the telephone. No, I mean an elephone who tried to use the telephone. Oh, dear me, I'm not certain quite that even now I've got it right. However it was, he got his trunk entangled in the telephone. The more he tried to get it free, the louder buzzed the telephone. I'd fear I'd better drop the song of Ella Hop and Telephone. I think it's actually Ella Fop and Telephone. Isn't that funny? Because I'm always getting my words mixed up, so I guess that's why I like it. The next one is about an ostrich, and there's the picture of the silly ostrich. And it's by Mary E. Wilkins Freeman. The ostrich is a silly bird. The ostrich is a silly bird with scarcely any mind. He often runs so fast he leaves himself behind. And when he gets there, has to stand and hang about till night, without a blessed thing to do until he comes in sight. Okay. See, I've marked some because there's a whole bunch of different poems in this really neat book. I like this book a lot. Okay, this one's called The Little Turtle, and all it has is this little picture of a little turtle right there. But my kids loved this one, and they memorized it when they were little, so I thought maybe it's a poem you would like to memorize too. It was written by Vachelle Lindsay, and it's called The Little Turtle. There was a little turtle. He lived in a box. He swam in a puddle. He climbed on the rocks. He snapped at a mosquito. He snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow. And he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito. He caught the flea. He caught the minnow. But he didn't catch me. You think you could learn that? It's a fun one to recite. Do you know what recite means? That's when you say something out loud from memory to somebody. Like maybe your mommy or your daddy or your grandma. You could FaceTime or Zoom your grandma and say it aloud to her. I bet she'd be so impressed. Or to me. Why don't you do that for me? I would love that. Could you video yourself telling that little poem? Okay, here's another one. And it's The Panther. And there's the picture. And it is written by Ogden Nash. The panther is like a leopard, except it hasn't been peppered. Should you behold a panther crouch, prepare to say, ouch! Better yet, if called by a panther, don't answer. Ooh, about the teeth of sharks. And there's a picture of the shark with the little other fishes. And it is by John Ciardi, about the teeth of sharks. The thing about a shark is teeth. One row above, one row beneath. Now take a close look. Do you find it has another row behind? Still closer. Here, I'll hold your hat. Has it a third row behind that? Now look in and look out! Oh my, I'll never know now. Well, goodbye. Got eaten by the shark. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, let me see if I can find. Oh, kids like this one. Let's read this one too. See that picture? It's a funny picture, isn't it? Look, there's kids up there. It is The Folk Who Lived in Backward Town by Mary Ann Hoberman. The folk who live in Backward Town are inside out and upside down. They wear their hats inside their heads and go to sleep beneath their beds. They only eat the apple peeling and take their walks across the ceiling. All right. The last one has this picture of a trash can with a whole lot of trash. And this funny little picture of this little girl running, which is this is an illustration from Shel Silverstein, because that is the author. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. Ready? It's kind of long. Okay, so get comfortable. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams. And though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings. Coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can. It covered the floor. It cracked the window and blocked the door. With bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal. Pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crust of black burned buttered toast, grisly bits of beefy roasts. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum. Cellophane from green bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni. Peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie. Moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky, and all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate. And there in the garbage, she did hate, poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is, much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout and always take the garbage out. Do you think it's true? I don't think it's true. I think it is a made-up story called A Cautionary Tale. Can you say that? Cautionary tale. You can impress people by saying, "I know about cautionary tales." Those are stories that people make up to caution you to do right. And that is telling you to please take the garbage out. Do you ever have to take out the trash? Maybe in your kitchen or in the bathroom? Maybe from your room? Maybe there's trash in your room that's not in the trash can and needs to be. Have you looked recently? You should. I love you and I miss you. I hope you enjoyed the poems. And I guess I'm going to send you some hugs and kisses right now, okay? Hugs and kisses.